2 years, 50 clients, 6 industries, thousands of words written, delivered, filed away, and never thought about again. Sam was making good money as a copywriter, but every single project felt like starting from zero. New industry, new audience, new message, same exhausting cycle. Until the day Sam stopped looking at finished projects as closed files and started seeing them as a paid education. One that was about to pay dividends far beyond the original invoice. Welcome back to Empower Art, Time and Money, and to part 3 of 5 ways to make money from work you've already created. Here's where we've been so far. In part 1, we met Maya, a photographer who audited 3 years of archived work and unlocked over $2,000 in new revenue in 6 months, simply by shifting her perspective from completed project to income-generating asset. In part 2, we went deeper with Alex, a graphic designer who built an entire product empire using a smart separation strategy. By understanding exactly what belonged to clients and what still belonged to Alex, a library of reusable design assets became a thriving stream of licensing income. The through line in both stories? The work was already done. The money was already there. It just needed a new lens to find it. In part 3, we're taking that idea somewhere new and somewhere that applies to every single creative entrepreneur watching this, regardless of your medium or discipline. Because Sam's story isn't just about copywriting, it's about expertise, the kind you build project by project, client by client, industry by industry, is one of the most scalable, monetizable assets a creative entrepreneur can own. Here's what's different about Sam's story compared to Maya and Alex. Maya's goldmine was visual, images that could be reprinted, licensed, and taught with. Alex's goldmine was structural, design elements that could be productized and sold. Sam's goldmine was invisible. It lived in patterns recognized across dozens of projects, in frameworks developed through trial and error, in deep industry knowledge that clients paid Sam to apply, but never paid Sam to own. And that's the insight at the heart of part 3. Every client project is a paid education. The question is whether you're only cashing the first check or building a system to keep getting paid for what you learned. Here's what we're breaking down today. First, how Sam audited 2 years of client work and identified 5 distinct digital revenue opportunities hiding inside it. Second, the 5 strategies Sam used to transform that expertise into scalable products and services. From courses to template libraries to group coaching to micro consultations. Third, the ethical framework Sam used to do all of it without violating a single client confidence or contract. The flywheel system that made every new client project contribute to 5 separate revenue streams simultaneously. And finally, the 12-month timeline and the numbers. How Sam generated over $38,000 in new annual revenue on top of an already thriving freelance business. Let's get into it. It started with a slow week. No new client inquiries, an inbox quieter than usual, and that familiar creative entrepreneur anxiety starting to creep in. Instead of just refreshing email and waiting, Sam did something different. Sam opened the archive. 2 years of project folders, blog posts, email sequences, sales pages, social media campaigns, written for businesses in restaurants, fitness, real estate, e-commerce, healthcare, and professional services. And as Sam scrolled through it all, something became impossible to ignore. The same structures kept working. The same frameworks kept converting. The same audience psychology kept showing up across completely different industries. Sam hadn't just been writing copy. Sam had been quietly building a methodology and had never once thought to sell it. That changes today. Here's how Sam turned 2 years of client work into a business within a business. Sam, a copywriter who discovered that words written once could be sold many times without plagiarizing or violating client agreements. Sam had been writing blog posts, email sequences, sales pages, and social media content for various clients for 2 years. Each project felt like starting from scratch. Research the industry, understand the audience. Then Sam learned about digital transformation, turning client work experience into scalable digital products. Content goldmine realization. While organizing old project files, Sam noticed patterns emerging. After writing for 50-plus businesses, Sam had deep knowledge in 6 to 7 industries. Sam had unconsciously developed repeatable processes for different types of copy. Sam had compiled extensive audience insights across multiple markets. Certain structures worked consistently across different clients. Here's Sam's digital transformation strategy at a glance. Strategy 1. Industry-specific course creation. Sam realized that the process of writing effective copy could be taught to business owners who couldn't afford custom copywriting. Course development process. Identify the 3 most successful client industries. Extract the copywriting principles that worked consistently. Create generic examples using fictional businesses. Package the methodology into step-by-step courses. Restaurant marketing copy that converts. Priced at $197. First month results, $1,380 in course sales. Strategy 2. Template and swipe file libraries. Sam took successful copy structures and created generic versions. Email sequence templates. Welcome series structure, 5 emails. Product launch sequence, 7 emails. Re-engagement campaign, 3 emails. Customer retention series, 6 emails. Each template included subject line formulas that had worked, copy structure frameworks, personalization instructions, industry adaptation guidelines, sales page template package, headlines that converted across industries, pain point identification frameworks, benefit articulation formulas, call to action variations that worked, monthly revenue, $400 to $700 from template sales. Strategy 3. Done with you services. Sam created a middle ground between DIY courses and full custom services. Copy Clinic monthly group program. Business owners brought their copy challenges. Sam provided live feedback using frameworks from client work. Group members could see how principles applied across industries. Monthly fee, $97 per member. Average monthly revenue, $1,940. 4. Micro consultations. Sam packaged expertise from client work into bite-sized consulting offerings. 15-minute copy reviews, $47 each. 30-minute strategy sessions, $97 each. 1-hour copy workshops, $197 each. These leverage Sam's accumulated expertise without requiring ongoing time investment. Monthly revenue, $300 to $500 from micro consultations. Strategy 5. Content repurposing system. Sam turned the process of learning industries into content. What I learned writing for, blog series. Shared insights without revealing client details. Established expertise in multiple niches. Drove traffic to courses and templates. Generated speaking and podcast opportunities. LinkedIn content strategy. Daily posts about copywriting principles learned from client work. Industry-specific tips without naming clients. Before/after examples using generic rewrites. Built following of 8,000 plus potential customers in 18 months. Here's the system integration. Sam created a flywheel effect. Client work, industry expertise, content creation, course development, template creation, community building, more client work. Each client project contributed to 1. Immediate payment for the project. 2. Industry knowledge for course creation. 3. Template development for passive sales. 4. Content material for audience building. 5. Case study material for future sales. 6. Methodology refinement for better processes. Sam's digital transformation timeline was this. Month 1 to 2. Audit existing client work and identify patterns. Month 3 to 4, create first industry-specific course. Month 5 to 6, develop template packages from successful projects. Month 7 to 8, launch group coaching program. Month 9 to 10, build content marketing system. Month 11 to 12, integrate all systems for maximum efficiency. The results after 12 months. Traditional client revenue, $48,000, working with fewer, higher-paying clients. Course sales, $8,400 annually. Template sales, $6,600 annually. Group program, $18,500 annually. Micro consultations, $4,800 annually. Total revenue increase, $38,300, 80% increase. Time investment for digital products, 8 to 12 hours per month after initial setup. Sam's content ethics framework was as follows. What Sam could use. General principles and frameworks developed. Industry insights, anonymized. Copy structures and templates, genericized. Methodologies and processes. Educational examples, fictional. What Sam couldn't use. Specific client copy, even anonymized. Confidential business information. Proprietary client strategies. Results, data without permission. Industry information that could identify clients. The leverage effect. Sam discovered that digital transformation wasn't about working more. It was about packaging expertise gained from client work into scalable formats. One client project now contributed to direct project payment, $2,000 to $4,000. Course material development, $200 to $500 value. Template library expansion, $100 to $300 value. Content creation material, $50 to $200 value. Thoughtful industry expertise building ongoing value. Sam's key insight. I realized that every client project was actually a paid education program. I was getting paid to learn industries, develop frameworks, and test strategies. The digital transformation was about turning that education into products that could help other business owners. The secret was recognizing that client work was building transferable expertise, not just completing one-off projects. So let's take stock of what Sam built. 2 years of client work. 50 businesses across 6 industries, thousands of words written, delivered, and filed away. And then, a mindset shift that changed everything. Sam stopped seeing finished projects as closed chapters and started seeing them as a paid education. An education in frameworks, in audience psychology, in what actually works across industries, and one that could be packaged, productized, and sold to the very people who needed it most. A copywriting course for restaurant owners, template libraries for email sequences and sales pages, a group coaching program, micro consultations, a content flywheel that turned every new client project into material for 5 different revenue streams simultaneously. Over $38,000 in new annual revenue, built almost entirely on work Sam had already done. And here's the through line across all 3 stories so far. Maya's gold was in her archive. Alex's gold was in the foundational layer of client work. Sam's was in the invisible expertise accumulated project by project. But all 3 discovered the same truth. The work was already done. The asset was already there. It just needed a system to unlock it. Which brings us to the deepest question in this entire series. What if the real power isn't just in repurposing individual pieces of work, but in designing your entire business so that every hour you work serves multiple purposes at once? So that every client project feeds your courses, your templates, your reputation, your rates, and your passive income all at the same time? That's not just repurposing, that's compounding. And that's exactly where Riley's story goes. In part 4, we meet Riley, a brand strategist who discovered what happens when you stop thinking in projects and start thinking in systems. In 3 years, Riley went from $50,000 to over $100,000 in annual revenue, not by working more, but by designing work that kept working long after it was delivered. This is the episode where everything we've built across this series comes together. Follow and come back for part 4. And while you're here, drop a comment. Of the 3 strategies we've covered so far, Maya's archive approach, Alex's separation strategy, or Sam's expertise packaging, which one resonates most with where you are right now? This is Empower Art, Time and Money. See you in part 4.